Good morning, everyone. This is Latika here with another How To Thursdays. I hope you all had a wonderful week so far. Another 2 days to go for the weekend. So what are we discussing today? Today we are talking about how to create a welcoming entry space or entrance hallway as you would call it. Now this is for anyone who's planning to do an entranceway. I'm not talking anything specific for a new build. You can also incorporate these changes now when in the space you're living. Say you want to just revamp the area. These are a few tips which you can use to make it much more welcoming. Now, why is an entrance hallway so important? Why do we give that so much of importance? One, it is the first point of contact for you when you're entering your home, and of course for the guest. So we have to make sure we give equal importance to both these aspects. One, it has to be a space for you when you come in. You might have some functions that you perform in that area, like putting your keys down or taking your shoes off, having a storage. So that has to be that we have to make sure we take that into consideration. And when it comes to the guests as well, so how do you want them to feel when they walk into that space? What do you want them to get immediate feel? Now entrance hallway is another easy space to do styling because it's usually a smaller area. You can take some risks there. It can even be a little different from the rest of the home, but somehow keep within the theme, but then still you can have some extra different elements in the entranceway. So this is another area. I always say powder room is an area you can experiment, but entrance hallway is another area that you can experiment. Now to start with, the best thing is you need to make sure when you have the entrance, it's a defined space. Now not every time you would have a corridor or exactly a wall or some space like that. So you have to make sure you're creating and demarking the space, giving that visual look. Now this can be done in different ways. You can create a focal point or have a rug, something that shows you that's your entranceway, and then you walk into the home. So there has to be a focal element created there. First thing, or before coming to anything like that, first thing is clear the clutter. Now before you start styling up, it's best to just clear the clutter. Take everything off from the space, clear the space, clean it up. Clean space makes a huge difference, and you will realize if you have anything up there when you clear, you will realize you'll find things that you might have to throw away, or you might have been looking for it, which you have to put somewhere else. So that's very important. Clear the clutter and sort them. If you've got items, quite a lot of items, sort them. Now the thing, like I said, define the space. Now usually we generally, even in the old homes, when you open the door, you have a wall which you can see. So you define the space, create a wall, add a focus. Now what different focuses you can add? One, you can add a large mirror, which you see many people do. You can buy ready-made mirrors, or it can be even a combination. It doesn't have to be a large mirror. Combinations of smaller mirror which will work like an artwork itself. If you don't like mirrors, artwork is another option. You can create or have artwork. You can have one piece, or you can have more pieces like a gallery effect. Now there are homes that you see people do have photographs in there. They have them arranged in a gallery effect and just have a seating under that. That works perfectly as well. So you have to think of what feel. See, everything you select, you need to be aware of what feel you want to give that area when people are walking in. So there are that again comes to your own personal choice. What is it that you like? So these are just giving you some ideas. What is it you can do? Another thing would be, after you've created a focus, most people, we do kind of have a console table. Some people have a table, some people have seating. So there will be, of course, something there. Now, when you have a console table, also you have to remember a few things. Functionality, what function is it serving? So like I said before, if you're walking in, it's a place where you put your keys down, or is it a place where you put your bags down? I know all these things can look funny. So what do? You create a space. Like if you have a console table, you have a tray or something to place your smaller items in them. Most of them you have your home keys, your car keys, and some people leave their wallets in there as well. So again, think about what is it that you want to do. Another, for big things, the easiest way is, I always say, I love baskets. So there are so many different kind of baskets available in the market. If you have baskets and you have them underneath, you can store your large bags. Now here, because I've got 2 young kids, I've got 2 baskets at the bottom and they both have filled with toys. And there's something overflowing all the time, but that doesn't matter. It just still works fine for me because it's still in the basket. I might just have to clear it once in a while. So I've got the kids' toys in it. And the little one has got some stuff in it, and the other one, the older one, has. So they've dedicated 2 baskets and they make sure what their items are in there. So for me, it doesn't matter because what I see is only a basket and then there are things inside. Another thing that we consider is some people like to have the shoe storage there. So if you're having a seating also, you wouldn't want to see all the shoes. So you'll have to consider either do a closed box or something that you can create, or again have baskets. If you don't have too many shoes, you've got your shoe storage somewhere. For example, you've got probably have a big storage in the garage. This might just be for 1 or 2 items that you need. So again, have them in the basket so nobody sees what's inside and they look nice and part of the decor. Another thing is lighting. Now we do know with many old homes, and of course in some new homes, we might not have a provision to give the actual plug point, the actual lighting. There are tips around. You can actually choose large lampshades, but go in for battery operated light. So you don't have to worry about, plugging it in or putting that on. The other thing would be, you can also get these battery operated lights that go on the wall. They look like sconces. So if you've got a large mirror and you would want to highlight it, you can buy these battery operated lights and they stick onto the wall and they're operated by battery. So that itself adds another piece. Hi Priyanka, thanks for joining. So that'll add another charm to the space. So lighting is a factor. We've talked about the focus and some function items that you might have in the space. Now another thing is, it's always nice to have something fragrant. So candles are a big thing these days. Candles come in so many different options. They look good, they smell wonderful. You have so many beautiful candles. So you can have a large piece of candle. So when you walk in, that does make a difference, because it's about your senses and what you feel. So what you see, what you smell, what you hear, all your senses. The more you can, satisfy these senses, they bring in a more lovely feel when you walk into a space. So candles are a big thing. Of course, you can have always natural flowers in there, which is beautiful to look at again, and wonderful smell. You have diffusers, that can be used. So any of these items are really good. So fragrance will bring in another element into the space. Then of course, when we are decorating, we can talk about something. These are normal items that you get everywhere, but something unique. So something that adds to your style. It could be some small piece you've probably collected from one of your tours, or it could be a photo of your family, or something unique, a unique piece. That would be just enough to add that different look and feel to the space. So make sure you've got something. Now, when we talk about all these items, another thing I forgot to mention is rug. If you want to have a rug to define the space, there are so many options available. So the rug also helps you define the space. And if you have seating, rug works because you can sit there and take off your shoes and have your shoes stored as well. So rug is a function, and of course for aesthetics as well. So every aspect, again, like I said, you will have to have an idea right at the start. What is it that the feel you want to create? And depending on that, you choose your items. Now, I'm not saying you have to go and buy every new item, or it has to be, X amount of money or something. You can play around with any items available. What I like to do is have large pieces so that they look quite opulent, rather than having many smaller pieces. And even if you've got smaller pieces that you want to put together, have them together in a group, in a tray or on a box or something, that it looks like one element together. So they tend to have a more visual impact than having a lot of small items across. When you have your console table, like I said, just not above, you have to consider under the table as well. So depending on what goes under, like I said, some people provide seating that, you can have little bench or ottomans that you can push under, so you can pull them, sit them when you're using it and put them back. That's fine. Unlike others, I said, have your baskets or something where you can have your storage element as well. And that also completes the space. Greens play a lot of importance. Now, you don't have to have all the greens on the table. It can even be on the floor, adjoining the space. So when you look at the whole space, it creates a whole feeling of oneness. So that brings in a beautiful feeling in itself. So I guess I've given quite a lot of ideas. I hope that's given you some ideas for you to play around maybe during the weekend. So please let me know if you're playing around in the weekend and post your photos. Would love to see what's happening. And like, if you've been following my story, I'm having one of my projects photographed and videographed on Saturday. So I hope I'm not sure if I'll jump in live, but at least I hope I'll post some photos and things. So stay tuned and have a lovely day. Bye. Bye, Bree.